In today's video, we're doing an engine conversion on an F1 car. We're on the latest F1 game, and thanks to some modding, we're going to be able to swap over the engine from a safety car into one of the Formula 1 cars. And then firstly, we're going to give it a test drive just to make sure we've not broken the entire game. And if we haven't, then we're going to get into a race and see if we can beat the Kick Sauber team, because truly, they have been absolutely cooked this season. I mean, how are both of their drivers sitting P21 and P23 in a 20-driver championship? So I reckon one of the other teams could still beat the Sauber team with a safety car engine. I guess we're just going to have to find out. So the first thing is actually getting this safety car engine inside of an F1 car. The way we're going to do that is opening up the files of one safety car and one of the official F1 teams. So I'm going to choose safety car 2 here, which is the Aston Martin safety car. And I'm going to go for Alpine as our test mule. And that's just because, well, frankly, I don't think there's much difference between a Renault F1 engine and a safety car engine at this point. I actually think Alpine are abandoning Renault power units from 2026 to become a customer team because they looked at the data and the engine they were developing was actually going to be worse than a safety car engine. And this video may just prove that. Right, so we've got both of the car files open. This is basically the nuts and bolts of the physics of these two different cars. The engine, aero, braking, fuel, everything. But all we care about is anything related to the engine. I'm not going to touch and copy over any of the brake physics, any of the suspension, tires, aero, chassis, whatever. All of that will remain the same. So now this is pretty much a simple yet a bit of a long case of going through each of the lines and making sure I'm copying over the right files. And I had to also make sure that everything we're copying over from the safety car fits inside of the architecture of the Alpine. We turned the turbo off, of course, because that's not there in the safety car engine. And we're even changing things like the gearbox and the gearbox ratio, so that's going to be matching the safety car. And so with that done, we install that back into the Alpine car file, and then we're going to launch the game here now, and fingers crossed it doesn't crash immediately. Right, the game's booting up so far pretty normally. No crashes yet. Of course, I don't actually expect to crash in the main menu because that would truly mean that we've broken the game. But the problem will be, basically, the game's not even, factoring in the car file right now. Right now, it doesn't even need to touch that file. But once we load this in to a time trial, that's where we're going to first of all see if it's going to accept, what we've done. Because basically, from my experience in previous F1 games, from doing wacky mods and trying to break the game or, doing other stuff, when you load in, that's where it sometimes rejects it if it's a bit too crazy. Right, F1 2024, cars moving over to the Alpine, but well, let's see. I'm gonna go for Mexico since that's the track we're going to next. So I feel like a safety car engine on the back straight is gonna be quite funny. Please work, please work, please work. It's loading. Oh, it froze there for a bit. Oh, I think we're good. I think we're good. I think it accepted it. Are you ready for the first ever safety car F1 engine swap machine? Let's go. Oh my days. Oh my days. It sounds like the safety car. Hang on. Slow it down. Let's just hear that engine as we rev up through this corner. That's mad, That's so disconcerting. We've still got DRS, by the way. That tick over, that growl of the safety car engine is so weird to hear. I think I can still hear the turbo whisper, but we've definitely turned the turbo off. Like, I'll recheck it in the files after this test, because we definitely turned it off, so maybe the audio just still has a turbo in there. But at lower gears, it just sounds like a normal car. It sounds pretty mean, Honestly, close your eyes. If you just heard this next to you, like on the motorway, you just think, oh, it's like some beefy, I don't know, like Ford pickup truck or something. I can't believe this has worked. It's worked so well. You know what? I did something like this, like maybe like 6 years ago on the F1 game, and it just broke the car absolutely. Whereas this time, I've managed to transplant it where we've got the actual safety car engine sound, whereas last time we didn't have any of the sounds. It still sounded like an F1 car. But it genuinely drives pretty fine. In practice, I don't know, with like a Grand Prix mode with fuel loads, I don't know what that's going to be like, because time trial, it's unlimited fuel. So maybe that's going to be where it has a problem. I can definitely tell in the middle of corners, the engine braking's totally different, because that's definitely something that was changed in the coding. There is very different engine braking. Like, I let off throttle and it basically doesn't slow. It doesn't slow like it usually would, because there's hardly any engine braking going on. And drivability midway through the corner is not the same. Like, it's not on its tiptoes. It's not like ready to pounce. It feels like a very lazy Formula 1 car now, because the engine's not primed in the same way as the F1 car engine would be. But power-wise, it still seems pretty good. I mean, I have no way of measuring it against the F1 car, but I actually feel still pretty is quick. Maybe this is just how slow the actual normal Alpine car is, and so I just can't tell the difference. The gears are very short. We're actually coming through the gearbox very, very quickly. Like, we're in 7th gear now. Oh, no, there is 8th gear. Still got 8th gear. I thought we didn't have it anymore. I'm just not over the sound, man. It sounds epic. What's the offboard sound like? Oh, it's about the same. Okay. What's the replay sound like? It's hello? Oh, there we go. Oh, okay, no, it's got a bit of a fake F1 sound to it on the replay. Well, I think you'll agree, this was a resounding success. An absolutely resounding success. I think now we see what the performance on this bad boy's like.
We're going to struggle for a good position in this race unless we can gain some early positions. See what you can do.
We're going to struggle for any positions, no matter what the time of the race is, mate. Here we go, the debut for this engine-swapped F1 car. Why are there no revs on the bottom? That's concerning as we go to 5 red lights, and we are somewhat away. I mean, I've been done, but... Oh, okay, no. The way those three simply just flew away. This is your biggest indication of how slow that start was and how slow this engine is. Off the lights, bit of wheel spin there. Then we get going, and then and they're gone, and they're gone, and they're gone. Yep, so honestly, I think this is what Alpine were fearing if they actually went with their custom-made Renault engine in 2026. That's why they've gone for the Mercedes power unit. Is that ERS is working. ERS should not be working. I put KERS capacity on 0. So that's a bit broken then. Clearly the game doesn't even care about what the KERS capacity is in the actual car files. We're fighting Ocon, our teammate, of course. Can I actually fight someone else, though? That's the question. What happens if I actually click overtake mode? Is it actually going to boost my power? I don't think it's actually doing anything, to be fair. So it may just be a visual thing that ERS is still there, but I don't think it's actually doing much. But we're somewhat keeping up with Albon, so let's see. I mean, the training on this game is going to help us for sure. But with the fuel on board, for some reason, there's just no revs. There's no rev lights. What's going on? Okay, oh no. Oh no, okay. The real pace of this car is going away now. Okay, yeah, okay. Now it's feeling a bit slow, to be honest. And now the deployment's been used. Okay, no, yeah, we're slow. We're so slow. This feels so slow. I'm having to go off the sound of the engine for when we're changing up, because I can't tell. I don't know where the revs have gone. From time trial to Grand Prix mode, it seems just because of the heavier fuel, the engine is not getting to the rev limit. Or so, I don't know. Because time trial's meant to be the perfect conditions, max fuel, max everything. In reality, I mean, how's the fuel levels? Fuel levels are pretty okay, you know?
They're going to be giving off dirty air, which is going to affect our tyres, so try to get past.
Oh, I don't think dirty air is any of concern to us, because we are as slow as anything. We won't be beating the Saubers today, because everyone is 6 seconds ahead. I'm having a little bit of a scrap with Ocon, keeping him behind, but this is well and truly going absolutely nowhere. Sainz has done a 117. We're on for probably like a 129. Oh, and the drivability is shocking. It really is. Especially in race. But okay, well, thank you for that. 10 seconds slower with the safety car engine. I'm still glad, though, the engine swap worked successfully in terms of it still drives And it feels pretty well in terms of, like, you know, obviously we're really slow, but it's still driving well, and we're having a bit of a battle with Ocon. He's actually got me with DRS. Can I come back at him? Can I come back at him? Let's not be last. Come on. Oh, my God. You just can't chuck the car in. There is no chucking because there's no engine braking happening. All right, come on. Commit. Come on. Come on. Turn in. We've still got the same downforce as the normal Alpine cars. This is just showing how much the engine actually does in terms of, you know, changing the drivability of the car. Come on. No, Ocon's getting away. We're going to be stone dead last. No. Oh, it's going to be P20, but hey, at least it's not P21 or P23, huh?
Straight line speed if you want to be able to fight. I passed the guy.
We need more straight line speed. Even Pierre Gasly's AI knows we were cooked in that race.
We need more straight line speed if you want to be able to fight.